In this heartfelt story, we follow a blind Black veteran and his devoted daughter as they face an unimaginable ordeal. Life hasn't been easy for this courageous father who served his country with honor, or his daughter, who stands by him every step of the way. But one day, their lives take an unexpected turn when they become the target of blatant harassment. What begins as an ordinary day spirals into a confrontation that no one saw coming. As tensions rise, the daughter makes a bold decision to pick up the phone and make a call that changes everything. What happens next is nothing short of shocking, leaving everyone involved stunned and questioning their actions. This is a story about resilience, justice, and the power of standing up for what's right. Stay tuned to uncover how this brave duo's determination turned the tables in the most surprising way. The story begins on what seemed like an ordinary afternoon. The veteran, a man of quiet strength, and his daughter, who's always been his rock, were going about their day. Despite the challenges he's faced since losing his sight, his determination to live a full life never wavered. His daughter admired his resilience and felt it was her duty to ensure he was treated with the respect he deserved. But then, out of nowhere, things took a dark turn. They found themselves confronted by strangers whose behavior was not only cruel but deeply unsettling. The daughter tried to de-escalate the situation, hoping that reason and kindness would prevail. But it soon became clear that the harassment wasn't going to stop. Her father's safety and dignity were on the line, and she knew she had to act fast. With her heart racing, she reached for her phone. What she said next would send shockwaves. As the confrontation escalated, the air grew thick with tension. The daughter stood firm, her voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions inside her. She had always admired her father's ability to stay calm under pressure, and now it was her turn to summon that same strength. But the more she tried to reason, the more harassment seemed to intensify. It was as if these strangers wanted to test how far they could push. The veteran, who had faced battles far more harrowing than this, remained quiet. Yet his silence wasn't a sign of defeat. It was his way of observing, of waiting for the right moment. His daughter, however, felt every word and action like a knife cutting into her. She knew she couldn't let them walk away thinking they could treat anyone, especially her father, like this. As she pressed call, she felt a wave of determination. Who was on the other end of the line, and what they could do, remained a mystery. All she knew was that this call wasn't just for her father. It was for anyone who'd ever been made to feel small. The call connected, and her voice, trembling but firm, explained the situation. On the other end, the person listened intently, their tone shifting from concern to urgency. As the daughter spoke, she couldn't ignore the way the harassers smirked, as if daring her to make a difference. She refused to let that arrogance shake her. This wasn't just about the moment, it was about the principle. Meanwhile, her father, though silent, placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. It was his way of reminding her that she wasn't alone, that they had each other. But even he couldn't deny the weight of the stares and the sharp words directed at them. For all his strength, this was a battle he couldn't fight alone. Minutes passed like hours, each one thick with tension. Then, without warning, something shifted. The harasser's confidence seemed to falter as the consequences of her call began to take shape. Whatever was coming next, they hadn't expected it, and neither had she. Just as the tension seemed unbearable, the sound of a car pulling up broke through the chaos. A figure stepped out, someone the daughter hadn't expected, an old family friend, a retired officer who had always been a source of wisdom and strength. He had answered her call immediately, and his presence was commanding, his calm demeanor masking the fire in his eyes. The harassers, who had started to waver, now stood frozen as the man approached. But instead of immediately addressing them, he turned to the veteran, offering a respectful nod. "Are you all right, sir?" he asked, his voice steady. The veteran gave a small smile, but his silence spoke volumes. Then, as the officer turned his attention to the group responsible for the harassment, one of them blurted out something unexpected, a claim that flipped the narrative. It wasn't an apology, but a revelation that hinted at a deeper motive behind their actions, one that no one saw coming. The group's sudden revelation caught everyone off guard. One of them admitted they'd been following orders, though they didn't explain from whom or why. Their smirks had disappeared, replaced by nervous glances at each other. The officer pressed for more details, his tone firm but measured, while the daughter stood stunned. What had started as blatant harassment now seemed to be part of something bigger. The veteran finally spoke, his voice calm but sharp. Orders? Orders to target a blind man and his daughter. I've seen a lot in my time, but this takes a different kind of cowardice. His words cut through the air like a blade, and the group seemed to shrink under the weight of his gaze. Just then, another car arrived. This time, it was someone entirely unexpected, a representative from a local organization advocating for veterans' rights. The daughter's earlier call had reached further than she'd thought. They had come prepared, bringing witnesses and a camera crew to document the truth. The harassers, now fully exposed, scrambled for excuses, but it was too late. As the group retreated, the representative approached the veteran and his daughter, offering not just support, but a platform to share their story. And just when it seemed everything had been resolved, the officer turned to the daughter and quietly said, "There's more to this than meets the eye. Be ready for what's next." The battle was won, but a new mystery had just begun. As the dust settled, the veteran and his daughter took a moment to process everything. The harassers were gone, their actions exposed for the world to see. The organization's representative assured them that steps would be taken to prevent this from happening to others, promising to share their story as a call for awareness and change. For the daughter, this was more than just a victory. It was a reminder of the importance of standing up, even when the odds feel overwhelming. Her father, ever the quiet pillar of strength, simply said, "You did well today," and those words meant more to her than anything else. As they walked away together, she felt a sense of closure, but couldn't shake the officer's cryptic warning. For now, though, they were safe, and their voices had been heard. This was their moment to reclaim their peace, knowing they had made a difference.